They'll be calling you a radical. I was working on a series for you guys to watch on the dilemma of nuclear waste, and I'm going to put up a series of those for you when the Bradley Manning news, and I had to drop everything and throw it down. First off, I want to talk about some Fukushima breaking news. First, this idealistic bullshit that they have a new watchdog that's being, that is the IAEA placing these in. This is their counter machine. As I am Bradley Manning. I have whistleblowers. This is a day that will live in infamy. And remember, this whistleblower, the TEPCO, they says, oh, we're going to get our whistleblower involved. Whistleblower is TEPCO. It is the IAEA. It is the machine. Do not fall for any of this bullshit. It's been underreported on Balco to the thousands. This will be the issue. Fukushima will be the issue that breaks the back of the conspiratorial freaking backdoor the United States Constitution, this illegitimate Supreme Court, this illegitimate media, these creeps in the media that they call this stuff, the fourth branch, they are creeps. Who are the problem here? Who's committed treason, crimes against America? The American media. And if you don't believe me, this day will live in infamy. As I've been saying, as you know, I met with the Marines, and I grew up in a Special Forces Marine family. If you knew my history of my family, my uncle who raised me stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day, still alive and well. My other uncle, who freaking high brass second shirt at the freaking Colorado Spring, who raised me. POW from freaking my Special Forces Marine father, nuked to death and thing. I grew up in that family so hard. I have had hope because our family, that family, the United States Marines, the United States Navy, I'm like, I know there's men integrity in there. I know they are. I know the Dick Cheney draft dodging creeps, they're appalled. I know that the freaking George Bush freaking doctrine that is allowed to go on the old time. I know there are people in there with integrity. I watched my father die, semper fi to his death. You know, his story of the Nevada test site was in a safe. He never told it to anyone except for my uncle, his younger brother, who was a general in the freaking Air Force at the time, who says, I run into block doors. I know there's men of integrity. When Bradley Manning made the decision to use the judge trial instead of the freaking board, I had hope. I had hope. This proves to me what I've been saying the whole time. That is the Marine Biology Department in the United States Navy and the United States Reagan, SS Reagan, who were sent over there will break ranks. I have a whistleblower from Cal Berkeley. I have one. I don't know if it's a he or a she. And that's a lot of this stuff to report. A lot of say, where do you get this? Like I knew he was going to die. It was a report and it wasn't. I get a lot of stuff. I have whistleblowers in CNN. Go to CNN's Facebook page, or excuse me, CNN's front page today. They ran a pictorial on people that we have lost in 2013. There's quite, I think they probably have 30 people. By the way, Earl Weaver died this year. I loved him. Michael Hastings is not on that list. Now you think about that. 1, 2. Sanjay Gupta's producer, 51 years old, died of cancer in her esophagus. This is a major, major story of Fukushima. Was she over there? I believe that she was. Sanjay Gupta on the 26th of March, and I've read it over and over and over. I'll post it here again. You read this and you tell me if the evil of CNN. This day will live in infamy. Michael Hastings' story, his murder, is going to inspire so many. You're saying, oh, well, he's going to get 20. Bradley Manning's a young man, a very young man. So many of these conspiratory assholes, these creep Dick Cheney and these creep George Bush and their lawyers and this apparatus who kidnapped the Pentagon to take over, they will all be dead. These fucks think they're going to live forever. They're not. He's going to come out of prison one day. And the whistleblowers and the alternative media, if we'd had these YouTube cameras, the nuclear thesis would have been over a long time ago. We have a Constitution. They have violated the Constitution. The day George Bush stole the election, and the Supreme Court, the old joke, which is not a joke, how many votes does it take to become President of the United States? 6. 5 Supreme Court justices and your daddy who put them there. It's not a joke. Look, the United States Supreme Court and every decision they've made since then, since the day Alito and Roberts put it, is totally illegitimate. And you think George Bush and Dick Cheney will not be tried for treason? Yeah, maybe not in our lifetimes, but they will. And this is not my words. This is Justice Breyer's words. His dissension in the vote, his dissension in the Bush-Gore thing says it all. His iconic photograph of leaving the court that night says it all. He says the United States Supreme Court is totally 100% illegitimate. Not my words, Justice Breyer's words. This country was hijacked the day that thing was stolen. We've lived a lie. We only have one hope to break the back of American fascism. This is nothing but pure American fascism. Through the military. And what will break it? The story of Fukushima. Because Fukushima is unavoidable. Unavoidable. And so many people are going to get cancer. And the Obama administration took the advice of all these freaking nuclear theists, the Gina McCarthy's, the Ernest Monse's, the MIT's, the Jim Walsh's, the freaking David Axelrod's. He took that advice and he walked this plank. You think about this. The two powerful men that go at it like this, they scoff at cancer and life. Boehner and Obama. They're both smokers. Boehner lays in the freaking tanning beds, the orange man. Obama swims in the freaking Hawaii, his own people, and everybody says, oh, his own. Look, Barack Obama's mother was a downwinder, a young woman. He freaking turns his back on that, raised by this Republican bank examiner woman in freaking Hawaii. He's not native to Hawaii. He's from Kansas. Downwinders. This Fukushima story is going to get broken. This day today will live in infamy. In infamy because we only have one hope to break the back of fascism. My whistleblower at Berkeley, and I know you watching this, break fucking ranks. I have your thing, break ranks. You marine biologist departments, we only have one hope. The Marine Biology Department in the United States Navy. We're going to get a whistleblower come forward because Bradley Manning is the modern day American patriot. Michael Hastings' freaking work will live in infamy. His death is going to spur a whole group, I hope, of people willing to give their lives. Because they're taking your life anyway with Fukushima. As I was given, I've been said for years, or for 22 months now, Kevin, by the dean at this university, by the dean down there in Southern California, by so many influential, strong people. The nuclear industry hates you so bad, they emailed you freaking leukemia in the email. For me to rant and rave and carry about this my whole life, and expose this my whole life, and then get leukemia, and I tell them, they didn't have to mail it to me in the mail. They gave it to me before I was born. And I'll get into the nuclear waste thesis. I'll do a series of documentaries, and I am as grassroots as they get. And this vlog of mine was never intended for the popular contemporary masses. I do not want to be popular and contemporized. I do not want. I want the movers, the freaking idea makers, the ideas, the intellect. That's the people that are watching my videos. We are the people that will change the world. Bradley Manning, thank God for him. Michael Hastings, thank you, as he's with the angels now, and his power and his legacy will live in modern day martyr. Oh yeah, oh yes, oh yes. His freaking story will not die, it will grow over time. And the United States Constitution will stand, as I'll use Martin Luther's freaking thing, and people say, oh, you're pep talks. These aren't pep talks. These are not pep talks. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for your life. I have AML leukemia, given less than a 1% chance to live. The nuclear thesis pointing to the Pacific Ocean, the nuclear cover-up, it will break loose. This story is going to be the most giant, big-time story you've ever seen, and it's going to break loose, and I'll tell you how it's going to play out. One day, you're going to wake up, and one of the major marine biologist departments, somebody inside, is going to do an interview with someone, somehow, somewhere. Or they're just going to post it. Maybe they'll send it to me and I'll break it. But it's going to break. And when that comes out, that this has been covered up the entire time, which is hiding in plain sight, Gina McCarthy, Radnet didn't work, raise the limits, the answer. As Sanjay Gupta's producer gets cancer, it's 51 years old, in the esophagus. The same as the Fukushima so-called 50 was with the Fukushima 2000, which dozens of them have died. Nuclear fallout in the esophagus is esophagus cancer. Boom. We know that it causes. Nuclear fallout is cancer. Period. 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 Until this country wakes up and you give your life. When they come out, this is going to be the biggest story of our time. And I'm so excited about the news today. Bradley Manning, as they tortured him. I mean, you think about it, my father, my people that raised me, your grandparents, your father, to have for the Obama administration to have to come out and say, oh, Snowden, we won't torture you. You know, and freaking Putin tells the U.S., yeah, good for Putin. You know, who the fuck do these fuckers think they are? Dick Cheney, all the war criminals, you know, that have gone on and on. There's a fight inside the United States military. The only way we will end this is American fascism, American colonialism, is inside the military. And that fight is happening. There are men with integrity still there. Now, are there anybody with integrity in the marine biology departments? Apparently not. Not one. We only need one. We only need one who's willing to step forward. Step forward. Because we are all Bradley Manning. All of us. Stand tuned.